Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the largest eSource forum ever. We're delighted to have all of you here, and we're looking forward to a very dynamic couple of days. My name is Michael Shepard. I'm the president and CEO of eSource, and I have a very distinct pleasure in announcing an exciting change to our program this morning. We were able to convince Dr. Judson to stop over and briefly in Denver to address our conference. As many of you already know, Dr. Fowler is respected worldwide for his deep expertise in complex utility systems. He's worked as a senior fellow at the prestigious World Economic Institute for the past 9 years. Before that, he managed a very successful consulting practice focusing on the European electric system. I could go on and on about his published papers and resume and honorary degrees, but the bottom line is that he comes highly recommended by the esteemed Amory Lovins, founder of eSource, who told me no one has been able to explain the smart grid in such a logical way as Dr. Fowler. So please give a warm eSource welcome to Dr. Judson Fowler.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me here this morning. Certainly nice to be in Denver for a change, although Geneva's not a bad place to live either. The smart grid really promises to change everything in a very critical way that you don't even know about yet, but I'm going to explain that to you today. Next slide, thank you. The stakeholders of the smart grid are many. Primary or the operational stakeholders have their own circle or box, as you can see on the slide, and the secondary ones are in the upper left-hand corner. Retailers really form the gateway to the customers, and we'll explore that later. The most important thing you want to take away from this slide is that the connections are critical to the smart grid working. And without the connections, it's just not a grid at all. Next slide, please. Now let's get to the meat of the issue. First, there's dynamic pricing, RTP, CPP, other pricing modes. As you can see, though, these have to be built. They're not mature. The trend of improvement is moderate. And if we skip to the middle of the slide, we can see the distributed generations. And this is the only high trend on the slide in red. Now don't forget this, because we'll come back to it later in the morning. Now you can't manage what you can't measure. All 20 metrics, as you see up here, are part of the total value offered by the smart grid. Every box that's in gray is more important than those that are not in gray. And the metrics 1, 5, and 8 are the most critical to your own work. But we really can't go any further without talking about a few of the abbreviations. CIP, Critical Infrastructure Protection. CAIDI, Customer Average Interruption Duration Index. CPP, Critical Peak Pricing.
Excuse me, Dr. Fowler?
Yeah.
I think this might be the most boring presentation I've ever witnessed.
We've got a long way to go.
Do you think we could please stop?
No?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but that's exactly what I was saying. really bad.
So Dr. Fowler, do you think maybe we could just get on with the energy show, please?
No?
Dr. Fowler, I think the audience has spoken. Where are you going to go next?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know where you all are going next, but I'm going to Disney World.